Frank, I love talking to you, and I always tell you that I love talking to you. Like, it doesn't even have to be on the podcast. It could be like some stupid comments or remarks on Instagram, and every day you're just there taking it.
I'm just taking it, huh? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, Frank, we gotta go. All right.
Yeah.
The Mindbuzz Podcast.
I noticed that like when I first start, there's like a skip, like the first couple of minutes.
Huh. That's
and then it just, it's probably like connecting us into the ether of the universe together. And it's like,
you're always connected to me right here in my heart.
That's funny how that energy just stays with you. I don't know. It's weird.
Forever and always.
It's weird. How was your Valentine's Day, by the way?
A little complicated. No, it was pretty good overall. It was nice.
How can Valentine's Day be complicated?
It always is.
Can
when you're
you?
single, Valentine's is always, and I never really have Valentine's either. I've had like one previously with one partner, and it wasn't even that great.
Why wasn't it great?
I don't know. We should ask him.
Is he in the audience?
No, I doubt that. If he is, yeah, no. I doubt he is.
I need to hear the story.
I mean, he tried. It's just, I was his first gay relationship. So it's like, and we were 19, 20 years old. We didn't know what the fuck we were doing with each other. It was just not the best time, but we tried our best.
At 20 years old, do you know what to do for Valentine's Day?
I don't know what to do at almost 30 years old. So I definitely didn't know what to do at 20. That's for sure.
But what? So you didn't do much this year then?
No, I had, I had some dinner and that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Some like socially distanced dinner.
I planned. So there was two. Why do somebody has to do the booking for me because sometimes I just pick the wrong days to have a conversation. Like I have the worst timing when I want to book because the first weekend that I tried to book with you was Super Bowl Sunday.
Yes.
And you told me, Gill, I love you, but dude, it's Super Bowl Sunday. So it was that time, and then I was like, okay, what about the following Monday?
Which was Valentine's.
Which was Valentine's Day. And again, your retort was, Gill, I love you, but it's fucking Valentine's Day, dude. I was like, all right, fine. Trying to spend holidays with my best friend, Frank.
Well, I should have done Super Bowl with you. I didn't even pay attention to the whole game. The halftime was good, but I didn't even, that was actually kind of a bad night for me, but that's a whole, that's a whole mental health thing.
I had somebody scheduled for Super Bowl Sunday, but they like bailed on me like 30 minutes before the show. And I was like, okay, I'm good. And I have like built up tension and energy before I know I'm going to do a podcast, just like when you get like an idea and you're just like, okay, like you're just rolling. You got the rhythm of the idea. You got to do what you got to do and then fucking explode. Right.
Pretty much.
I don't know, man. It's great. What have you been doing up until now? Because we were originally gonna do some work like a few months ago, and how you been, man? Basically, Like, what are you doing right now? Like, how's your TikTok life? I see you always on there.
I'll say TikTok's pretty good. I kind of slowed it down. I was doing I'm always doing some funny skits, but then I was doing some daily affirmations. And then I kind of slowed that down at the moment because I realized I really suck at taking care of myself. I love being able to help other people and offer people literally every fiber of my being. And then I don't pay attention to myself, which I'll just say it on here too, because I know we were talking off air. I had, I don't know when this is airing, but I had my first therapy session today. It's like I needed to do that shit for myself because it's like mental health is so important. And I think I'm finally taking the right steps in a more positive direction. It's kind of why I had to take time off from podcasting because just mentally I was not there. I was really off. Unfortunately, it got really dark for a little while and I kind of had to find myself again. So now what I've been doing, I'm not good at doing nothing. I feel like I always have to be picking up stuff and I got to be working all different things. But currently I am editing a book for an author friend. That's been fun. That's been great. I'm also I'm like in development of a couple different projects, one being hopefully a new podcast coming out in a little bit. That would be great. I started working on this short story series called Hold Me When I'm Sleeping. I've been teasing that in the last couple days and that's still in development, but I could that's a whole thing I could talk about if you want later. And I even did some modeling work just on the side, I'm just, all different streams of income.
Okay. You know, when I posted that picture of you on my story to kind of like promote this, somebody asked me if you had an OnlyFans.
Not yet.
No, seriously, that was the question. And I was like, what?
A girl or a guy?
It was a woman.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Damn.
It was a woman. There was a few guys that asked me as well.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe this is a missed opportunity.
Definitely. It's a misconnection. Opportunity, misconnection. It was the second photo that you had on your Instagram where you were laying down and I was just like, whoa, okay, now I see it. They're like, well, what about that? If he doesn't have an OnlyFans, what about that second picture he posted? And I look at him, I'm like, what? Come on. Oh, all right.
Well,
his pose.
I'm wearing clothes, right?
Yeah. If you could call him that. No, the shirt was perfectly fitted. Yeah.
That doesn't happen a lot.
Why wouldn't it?
I don't know. I don't know if all my clothes are cut correctly. I feel like they're very like some are kind of boxy and like this is I think this is Old Navy I'm wearing now. And I used to work for Old Navy, so I can say this, or even if I didn't, who the fuck cares? They're gonna sue me. The stuff's not cut evenly all the time. Like I'd be folding a shirt at Old Navy and it wasn't a perfect square. So whatever kid they got from another country working on these clothes, they weren't a perfect symmetric shape.
Yeah, I don't think too many people that work in sweat houses take geometry.
I think they work right before that course.
You think so? You think they send them like right before you go to a sweatshop, they take you like sweatshop college.
SSC.
And then they have a university of how to make clothes in a mass-produced fashion. I dig that.
Damn. They should have that. That's just a new project we're gonna have to start together.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, you're editing like a book?
Yeah. I wish I could write one, but I'm editing other people's at the moment.
That's cool. That's really awesome.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I like it. I'm hopefully I mean, I think I like it enough to where I started a little bit of it to kind of create some sort of Fiverr profile so I could be like a freelance editor. And who knows, maybe I could get picked up by some publishing company and then that's how I could get my in to like be an author. I don't know. We'll see.
Do many writers first start off as editors? Like, do you know any like famous writers or anybody that would stand out writing start?
I don't think so.
I like that.
Not that I know personally, but at the same time, I feel like I'm really good at focusing on everything but my true passion. And my true passion is to be an author. And for some reason, I love trying everything. I'm kind of like Barbie. I'll work every other job and just avoid what I really want to do because I'm probably scared inside that I'm going to fail at it. But it's like you have to try.
Yeah. Do you get like a burst of motivation when you see other people's work?
I do a little bit, yeah.
I would get so fucking motivated reading somebody else's like writing. Like you don't even have to be famous, but just writing and putting your own creativity onto a page, like from your brain, then have somebody read it. And when you say edit, like what kind of editing do you do? Do you give like feedback about the writing, or is it like more administrative type of editing?
No, I do some proofreading. I've added a little bit of my own language in there. I have to send it to him eventually and he'll let me know if that worked or if it didn't. But I'm gonna give some feedback too. Because yeah, we do know each other personally. So I would do that extra mile as well. It's probably important anyway, just to kind of I would want that for my book. Like I'd want that extra, not just the extra pair of eyes for the grammatical stuff, but also just to kind of see. I would probably want a lot of like beta readers or an editor to tell me like what they actually think of the book, because if it's shit, I'd rather know ahead of time instead of like just everyone telling me, oh yeah, it's good, it's fine, and then publishing it and then it just
that takes so much courage. You have to have big enough balls to create something and have somebody criticize you for it.
Oh, hell yeah.
In a positive way. But it's so hard because maybe that one person has a different way of sharing feedback, and some of my fear comes from that. Like if I share something with somebody, I get like shaky and all nervous and inside, and like my nerves like start like rolling around my face. Like when I don't podcast for a while, like I get on and I look at the camera and I'm just like I start twitching. It's weird. I don't know. Maybe it's just a camera thing that I'm just trying to hold my nerves.
I know, like, for example, this being live at the moment, that definitely would make me more nervous than if you knew you could like fuck up a bunch of times because you could just edit that out, which I mean, I'm assuming you do some light editing afterwards, I think, right?
Absolutely not. Just the sound. The video, no.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pushing myself when I start at that. Because if you go into something like, just like you said, like I can go back and edit so I can fuck up as much times as I can or as I want to. Versus if you're going live, you got to be at your peak performance during that live. I'm exercising my muscle.
That's a good thing.
It's fun. I don't know. I find it fun.
I like it. I'm gonna try not to like fart or something through it, but I like. Yeah, no, I like the live. I like the live.
If you had a fart, that'd probably be the first fart on this podcast, which I'm surprised.
Don't challenge me.
I've gone a year and a half without farting on this podcast. Maybe I need farts.
Maybe you need fiber.
Like fart challenge. A fart challenge between Frank and Gill.
That's an OnlyFans out there.
Is it? Farting?
Probably. Not
it's
that
a fetish.
I know personally, but
it's a fetish.
Is.
You think
everything's a fetish,
right? What do you think? What do you think should be a fetish, but it's not? Like, is there something that you see and can be like, okay, I can see that as a fetish, right?
Is shopping a fetish? I feel like that kind of is, but not something I would see like on a porn website.
But are you the shopper, or are you just the person watching the shopper?
You could be either, I think.
Oh yeah.
Like depending on what turns, like me, the shopping itself would turn me on, and like the more ridiculous the purchase is, like, oh, I just bought a seal from an aquarium, like. I could see someone being like, that's hot.
And then you get a chub from buying an aquarium.
Oh my God. I'm getting turned on already.
I'm hard right now.
I was hard when I first saw you on video.
Buying that couch from IKEA.
You're buying it under my, it's just because my butt touched it.
Oh, the couch. Yeah, the couch. From Hampton Beach, California. Just kidding.
Everything here is from Hampton Beach.
Dude, you have a nice setup. I always have to comment on the background.
This looks like a porn set. You have an actual nice setup. Like you have like the studio background.
This is a porn set. I was thinking a few weeks ago, I'm like, how can I have extra channels of income that I can use with a podcasting set? I can record porno. I could record porno on my podcasting set. And that will be the whole basis of the porno, like a podcast porno. And it's all these sex workers that have a podcast and they have sex in their podcast room.
Wow. You really thought this.
I thought it through. It was going to bank. It was going to be bank. It was going to be amazing, but I don't know. My dick doesn't look too great in this background with this kind of lighting. I feel like it would work out with a studio like yours.
I don't know what to say to that, but you know, I would love to test that out sometime.
You should. I mean, everybody thinks you have an OnlyFans. Anywho.
Not surprised there.
Neither am I. What kind of stuff do you write? Do you write romantic novels? I can see you as like a romantic novel author.
I could probably write a mean romantic. My favorite though, I like not necessarily horror stuff, but I like to write stuff kind of disturbing, like psychological thriller, mystery stuff is my favorite. That short story series though that I want to post on my website and hopefully publish as a paperback and stuff is kind of like, that would be more of a romance story, but kind of with like some dystopian Black Mirror-esque feel to it as well.
Oh, dude, Black Mirror.
Oh, I love that fucking show.
What the fuck was that? I'm super sad that they haven't brought anything new from it.
I know. This story though that I'm working on, part of the inspiration is probably the San Junipero episode.
Oh yes.
Yes. with the other, because mine involves like this other world where the people are like sleeping technically. Well, in that show, or yeah, are they? Yeah, they're like kind of sleeping, right?
Yeah,
That episode.
she's like the end stages of dying or something like that, and
Yes.
she she goes into this world to live out how she is.
Yeah, mine has to do with dream software that's being tested for the first time.
Dang. Oh, that's a trip. How did you get that idea?
Honestly, and I swear to God, this is just what happened. This never happens. I feel like this is like a gift for writers. I literally had a dream one night where I got most of the stuff for the story. I just started jotting. Like when I woke up, I flew to a notebook and just started writing as much down that I could remember from the dream before it like went away. Cause like you'll have a really good dream or just something very vivid or lucid. And then the longer that the day goes by, it's like the more you forget about the dream. So I knew I had to write down what I could. And I'm so happy I did because it inspired this whole like idea.
Do you write like anything that happens to you throughout your day? Do you write about it?
Sometimes I've been journaling more.
Yeah.
Again, sometimes it's kind of hard because our lives can get busy, but definitely certain big life events, usually that involve me and other people, I like to kind of jot down.
It feels so amazing, especially when you wake up from a dream and start writing.
That felt good. Yeah, that was that like motivation rush where I'm like, oh my God, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Especially in a subconscious state. You have this big revelation that's vivid. There's colors, possibly. There's characters. You get emotions from your dreams. So you're taking all that stuff in and putting it on paper.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you can relive it. And you can relive it.
True. That is true. Yeah, I at least got like a good general concept that I was like, okay, I can definitely add to this. And I've slowly been adding to it. For example, like trying to kind of put a little bit of my own personal life into the story. Not that any of these events happened that I'm putting in, but for example, the two main characters in the story, there's a dynamic in my real life that I'm kind of pulling from there and pouring a little bit into those main characters just because the dynamic me and this other person have, it's so powerful and I feel like it's story worthy.
Yeah. Yeah, even like the best things that you can come up with like in writing or any type of idea, it comes from real life. And it's like 50% reality and then also 50% imagination. When you I've practicing journaling in the morning when I can. Like that's the goal. That's the goal in the morning, is to get like a good exercise in, a good workout in, and then sit down and just write about whatever. Like it could be, if you want to be funny for the day, you just write what you think it's funny, an observation. It could be a short story. And I think with story writing, what's fascinating about that is you can make up any story with any type of genre, and it can bounce back and forth. Like I've never thought about writing a romantic type of situation. I don't know, maybe it's just the way my brain works, but I've never had the inclination.
What kind of story would you write?
If it was like romance?
Or no, like any genres or any specific?
I'd probably write like a feel good comedy.
I could see that, yeah.
Like
fun.
Something that's, not too campy, not too raunchy, but will fit like a good audience that takes a person, through a story and makes the main character feel like them. Like, oh, like I used to get picked on. Oh, okay. Well, my parents suck too, or whatever. Or, I mean, it could be whatever. It could be raunchy too. I thought about raunchy stuff like with incest. No, just joking. That'd be bad. Dude, imagine like all these crazy movies that come out, or these weird books, or these weird, magazine tales or whatever. People actually write this shit.
I was going to say, yeah, people have no problem writing about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And to tie it back into fetish, do you think that writing like stuff that are really taboo, do you think that could be a fetish as well? What do you think? Can it be?
That's a good question. I think maybe. I was working on a book, and then I'm kind of just doing this short story because it's easier to kind of write on the side as you're editing a book. We're trying to write your own book and editing someone else's. It's like you just start mixing the stories a little bit together. Yeah, I mean, when I was working on the book, and maybe even a little bit of the story that I end up working on, because there is some romance in there. I like to experiment a little bit with the more kind of on the line of raunchy writing a little bit. And some pieces of that, I guess you could say there'll be a piece or two where it might be a fetish of mine, or it might be something that turns me on. And that's why it's so easy for me to write it in a story. So I guess in that sense, yeah. Like that type of writing could be viewed as a fetish, I would think.
Dude, if I was writing a romantic novel and every like page I'd made myself hard, it'd be so hard. It'd be terrible.
It would be hard.
Nothing would get done because I'd be like, oh my God, here's another one. Here's another one. Let me walk away and take care of it real quick, Let me end this.
It would be easy to write something that doesn't turn you on, but you're just writing it for the sake of.
Oh yeah, definitely. If I was bored or something, yes. Heck yeah. Like I wrote about this character. He was like a perfect example. He was like Tony Robbins. He was like a character like Tony Robbins. Motivational speaker, great looking guy, everything like, great jaw structure, very tall, handsome man. But then he talks about his childhood, and it was a terrible childhood, but he overcame all that stuff and became a motivational speaker. But he was an alien. Or a dog, I don't know. I'm still trying to place the character.
Okay.
Yeah, a motivational speaker, alien, or dog.
I could see the alien.
Yeah.
Tony Robbins is I could see him as an alien, personally.
You can.
I think so.
What about a dog? Can you see him as a dog? What kind of dog would Tony Robbins be?
Maybe like a werewolf.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Like during the day, he's a motivational speaker. At night, he's like terrorizing the city.
Oh my God. He's like a Bruce Wayne Batman type character.
Yeah. Or yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah. He's like a superhero during the day and night.
Yes. But he's a werewolf. Or he's a murderer. With a knife. No, that's too horror. I want to go for something campy. Like him being a werewolf. Yeah. Tony Robbins is a werewolf. Does he wear a cape?
Tony Werewolf.
Yeah.
No,
Tony.
Does he wear a cape?
No. If you're a werewolf, you don't wear a cape.
Not as a werewolf. Yeah.
You don't wear a cape as a werewolf.
No. Maybe he'll still be wearing like the dress pants on the bottom, but then he'd have like I don't know his physique, honestly. I don't like look up Tony Robbins shirtless or anything.
Why not?
I feel like he's got to have. I'm going to after this, but I wonder if he has like really big pecs. I could picture that, and he'd have some really big werewolf pecs.
I bet he would.
I think he would.
I bet he would. Who would his romantic person be? Can we make him gay? Would that fly in America today?
Oh, probably. Well, I don't know. See, he would probably sue the production, I feel, because he's
okay. Well, we won't call him Tony Robbins. It'd be a character. It would be a motivational speaker. Let's scratch Tony Robbins' names from that, and it's just a motivational speaker that becomes a werewolf or a type of creature at night.
Yeah, I think whoever he's with, they have to be someone. I feel like they got to like work with his kryptonite or something. Like they work around jewelry or like silver all day or something. So it's like, oh no, like he loves him or her, whoever the person is.
What about Jonah? What about Jonah Hill as the werewolf? And he's a motivational speaker.
I could see that.
With Isla Fisher. I want Isla Fisher as his romantic person.
I could work with that. Another choice for me would be like Zooey Deschanel or something.
Zoe what?
Deschanel, that from New Girl.
Oh, okay. Wait,
she looks like Katy Perry.
Oh, yes. Oh, she's funny. She's good.
Yeah. Like I feel like that could work maybe.
Zooey Deschanel. Yes. She's 5'5". Oh my gosh. She's gorgeous.
Wow, I thought she was taller.
She's gorgeous. 1980?
I think she's another there's probably quite a few. There's quite a plethora of choices for that role.
She was in the Happening?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, she was in The Happening with Marky Wahlberg. I was just talking about that movie the other day.
That's weird.
It has come full circle. No, but what's the last movie have you seen?
I don't watch a lot of movies.
No.
Oh my God. Hold on. I'm trying to think.
Fuck that question.
I know what it is.
Fuck that question. What were you reading? I'm sorry. What was the last book you read?
I was gonna say, because it's kind of embarrassing. If I think I remember what movie that was, and yeah, it's an old one. It's embarrassing. Reading. I actually have both books here because I can't stick to one for some reason. I have one that's self-help and one that's fiction.
Okay.
So the fiction one is called The Golden Couple. It's by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen.
Okay.
And it's from I'm part of a subscription service called Book of the Month. So you can choose like 1 to 3 books a month. And this was one of them.
That's awesome.
It's addicting.
That's really cool. So it's like Audible, but instead of getting like digital versions, you get real tangible books. That's beautiful.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all hardcover. We should I have a referral link. We should put that in the comments. In the description.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, put that down there because I want to check that out.
I'll send you that. But yeah, this one's about I just started this one, so I'm only like 30 pages in or something, but it has to do with a therapist who lost her license, but she still is trying to help couples within, I want to say, she has like this foolproof system where after 10 sessions, she can like completely fix any relationship. But the relationship, I guess, that walks in this time, I don't know what it is yet, but I guess it's going to be really complicated. All I know so far, hopefully it doesn't spoil too much, but it's right at the beginning, is that it's a straight couple. The woman in the relationship, she cheated, I guess, but I just have a feeling it's going to get really complicated. And knowing that this therapist, she's not licensed anymore, there's probably I can imagine how many unethical things she might do or something in order to help this couple. I went to school for psychology, so I can only imagine how crazy that's going to get, because I think it is a thriller. And then this book's been great. I'm almost halfway through. It's called Frientimacy, and it's by Shasta Nelson. Shasta Nelson. And it's How to Deepen Friendships for Lifelong Health and Happiness. This is something I really needed this book, because I've not been the best type of friend in my past, but also this isn't just about being a good friend. It's developing friendships into a deeper level of intimacy.
Dude, that one sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Frientimacy, How to Deepen Friendships for Lifelong Health and Happiness.
Yep.
That's a beautiful
I like
cover.
it so far.
With
it's pretty cool.
No, I'm reading the thing here on Amazon. With the constant connectivity of today's world, it's never been easier to meet people and to make new friends, but it's also never been harder to form meaningful friendships. And Frientimacy award-winning speaker Shasta Nelson shows how anyone can form stronger, more meaningful friendships marked by a level of trust she calls Frientimacy. Whoa. Is it kind of like a how? Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a how-to book. Oh, shoot.
A little bit, yeah. There's a little bit of that. I like the structure of the book, because it's not just text and stuff. Like, she has a couple graphs in it, and but it's also not too scientific either. And I feel like it's not, but I also feel like it's not a bunch of fluff.
Gotcha.
Because, some self-help books, it'll be one concept and then they just keep talking about it over and over again. Yeah. This, I don't think is like that.
Gotcha. So there's like a spectrum of frientimacy. It just doesn't boil down on, one subject.
Yeah. I know at least the first half that I read so far, there's 3. This was definitely really helpful for me. There's 3 different parts of a friendship she goes into, and how what will happen in friendships a lot of the time is that, so one of them I want to say is vulnerability. So she kind of goes into details of how these 3 different things, vulnerability being one of them, how one of us might feel like, let's say we feel like we're being vulnerable to another person, but we feel like they're not being as vulnerable to us. Like, there was just a part in the book that I really liked that talked about these like imbalances within a friendship. I feel like that it's so common, and why friendships end up having like stupid arguments, or why they end up ending over certain things. So I liked that she went a lot into detail with that, and it kind of made me stop and think about, I guess, just like maybe not having such high expectations, but also if I feel like something is off, that we do have the power to be able to communicate it with someone, and we don't need to just like keep it to ourselves or whatever. And it's about like pretty much, like it's called Frientimacy. It's about enhancing that intimacy, and that intimacy isn't just for relationships, like romantic relationships. It can be for any type of interpersonal relationship, like friendships.
Do you feel that those relationships between a friend do you think it's more difficult, or do you think it just depends on who the person is? Like a friendship versus like a boyfriend or a girlfriend?
I think they definitely can be difficult. I feel like friendships, in my opinion, friendships should be one of your most carefree type of interpersonal relationships. I feel like they should be one of the easier ones. And that if it's too complicated, you might want to double think on that type of connection. That's kind of what I've done. And that's kind of what I just feel like. Well, I feel like family and romantic relationships, there's so much stress that can come from those. Like, I feel like
definitely.
Those can be very challenging.
Yeah.
Friendships can be challenging too, but I feel like friendships would help make those other relationships a little bit easier on you. Like I feel like they're supposed to help comfort you. Like, because a romantic relationship, obviously you're going to comfort each other in that type of relationship, but there's also tons of challenges that you face in a romantic relationship. And I feel like a friendship should complement just any of those struggles. Because, like, for example, if you're going through an issue in your romantic relationship, a lot of people will go to their friends and talk to them. So I feel like that's what I feel like they should be able to help in that sense, and they shouldn't be making your life more difficult. Maybe just because I guess the way that I think about it is people usually don't just date anyone, but I think it's possible to be friends with almost anyone, if that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. The thing that gets me is you need friends. Anybody that says that they don't need friends is lying through their teeth.
I agree.
I used to be like that. I don't need friends. It should just be me. I came into this world alone. I'm going to do it without, friends. But a lot of that still came from not communicating correctly. Maybe because I didn't want to. But I think I reached a point where, good communication between anybody that is not you is great. You have to learn you have to be comfortable with communicating. I think a lot of reasons why we don't communicate, or I don't communicate with my friends, is sometimes because I'm just not used to it. Like, it's always, I don't know. But then again, could your type of relationship be based on not communicating?
I don't know. I have a few things to say, but with that question, I just feel like, that relationship's not going to last long.
Yeah.
When I talked about that Valentine's Day, that relationship, as much as I loved it, and that person was literally like the love of my life, the communication was one of our biggest issues. Yeah. And it just did. So it's like, it didn't matter how much we loved each other because we couldn't communicate with each other. That person I was with didn't communicate at all. I communicated so much to where I was just talking at them. So it's like, it just doesn't work if you guys aren't on the same page, or even like trying to compromise with some sort of, open language. And, when it comes to communicating with other people, I can understand where you're coming from. I grew up an only child. So, and it's probably why I got into like creative writing and all that, because all I had was like my imagination as a kid, and I would hang out with a couple friends here and there, but there was a lot of time I had alone time. So I didn't even say, even as a kid, I didn't say my first word until I was 4 years old. My mom thought I was deaf.
Oh, really?
She did not. Yeah, I didn't say, and my very first word ended up being eggs.
Eggs? I love eggs.
So yeah, I love eggs too. But yeah, I just I didn't really, it took me a while to even remotely say any sort of words. So yeah, I had to learn so much when it came to communication. I thought I knew everything. I mean, I guess we do when we're at a younger age. We think we know everything, but even things like communication, I didn't even realize that was a skill that you have to put time into. You have to practice.
Yes.
You have to build.
Yes. It's something that you have to work on daily, even if it's the most uncomfortable type of communication. I mean, it varies. Like it varies to how you feel and to how you communicate it. But I love books just like this that give you that extra push and that extra blueprint of how you can communicate correctly with friends. Or one book that comes to mind about me, it's an old book. It's by Dale Carnegie. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People. Oh my God. It's about 150 years old, but I tell you, dude, these concepts in this book are just fucking amazing that you can just take off the page and practice. And you practice. And you practice. And you take these concepts and you live them. You live them in your soul, and you just remember, like, oh, how to win friends and influence people, chapter this. And then you start, like, I read that book like nonstop for like about 2 months. And then on top of that, I was listening to a lot of Jeffrey Gitomer stuff. He's a salesman, but he has this other book called The Little Yellow Book of, what does he call it? The yes attitude. That's what he calls it. And it's a super easy read. I think the audiobook that I had was like 3 hours. So I heard it about like once a day. And I played that for months. Once a day. 3 hours. Hour and a half going to work, and then working, practicing what I was listening to that book. Practicing on coworkers, on customers, on clients. And it became seamless. But I was changing my brain to communicate in such a way that was very different. But I love these books that have how-tos in them. They're immaculate.
Yeah, I agree. You had an hour and a half commute. That sounds really rough.
Yeah. It was. I was driving out of like San Bernardino County into like the very tip of Los Angeles County. So I had an hour and a half commute. But I used that time to practice like mental push-ups throughout the day, saying affirmations or practicing talking on the phone. I think that's one interesting thing that I like about podcasting, is because I get to practice. I get to practice broadcasting and reading scripts and learning how to read ads. That's the one thing that I want to start looking into, is learning how to read ads. Like I see all these YouTubers like speak, like videotaping their ads and putting them on YouTube. I mean, that's a fucking genius idea.
Yeah, and and they get the sponsorship, and that's what I enjoyed with podcasting too, just the practice, and it helps with a lot of things besides your language and communication skills. It helps. I know, like, I've definitely experienced social anxiety, so to be able to meet like a bunch of new people like that, it's just a lot of practice for that, so that you don't feel as awkward. In your real life when you're on the street meeting people.
I'm the same way, dude. I experience social anxiety constantly. But what I found that I liked, that I try to trick my brain into doing, is liking that feeling of being uncomfortable, like to like that feeling of social angst. Because if I feared it, it fucks me up. But if I love it and just invite it in and use that energy to make things a little bit more alive and just go for it, fuck it. My life's a movie. And I'm the motherfucking main character.
I was just, because you're the main character. We're just living in your world.
Exactly, yes. Basically, that's what it is. Right? I mean, that's the one thing about writing is you can just create this whole different world. You can create this whole world that that you understand.
And the characters too. That's what I love with writing. It's kind of like it's like a legal way of lying to the world in a weird way, because you're just fabricating a story, and you can like you have the freedom to do whatever you want. So it's like being able to it's kind of like in a way being able to lie for a living, because you're just making something up.
Dude, I never thought of it that way. All authors are just fucking lying to me. They're lying.
Well, you don't want the self-help ones to lie too much, or any nonfiction. Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. But
how,
I don't know with the fiction ones.
I get. I want to visit that real quick. How, if you write a self-help book and you just fabricate things that will possibly make somebody feel less shittier as a human being, but it works. It may be fabricated, but it absolutely works, and it only has to work with 1,000 people. It only has to work with 1,000 people, depending on how many people pick up that book. Just have to have a catchy title. I don't know.
Oh, I know a self-help author that, just like that, where she's very successful, but she's a shit person.
Really? Wow.
We talked about her on your show, I think, before.
Did we really?
Maybe it was off camera. I think I did say it on camera. I didn't even care if I was like, she's not gonna, I don't think she's gonna care enough to sue me, but
she won't.
You never know.
She won't.
I talked about her on my podcast, actually.
She doesn't listen to this podcast.
And she probably didn't listen to mine either.
Yeah.
Even when I tagged her.
Oh, you tagged her?
I'm petty sometimes.
You tagged her and you were talking about her on the podcast?
Yeah.
That's ballsy right there.
It is. Life's too short, and you got to be called out sometimes on your bullshit.
Oh. Whoa, yes. Why? She didn't write you back or anything?
No, someone else did write me though.
Really?
It was, so I mean, I guess I might as well. I don't have to get into the whole story. Not a whole lot happened, but when I did an episode on predators in Hollywood, a family member of one of those celebrities contacted me, and she was not too happy about what I had to say.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. I didn't even realize they were related until I went on their profile and I looked at the name, and they have the same last name. And I'm like, oh, crap. Because she had mentioned, she was like, this is, I'll just say who it was. I was talking about Drake Bell, and it was Drake Bell's sister that's like calling me names. And she's like, you're a fucking liar and stuff, like, stop slandering my brother. And it's like, I'm sorry, I have the proof if you want to reread it again, but I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not saying it's your fault why your brother's a pedophile, but he's a pedophile.
Hold on, what? Drake Bell?
Yeah. Well, he was talking to underage girls.
Oh, how was he doing that? How was he talking to underage girls? Drake Bell? Ooh.
Online, I know. He was, or at least there was at least one case where he was, but I don't know. I've heard some people be like, oh, it's not true. Or the worst is when people are like, oh, well, she was consenting. Minors can't consent though. So legally consent. So what the fuck?
How young was she? She wasn't 17 and a half or something like that, right? She was younger?
15.
Whoa. So he knew. He obviously, this guy knew.
Yeah, I think so.
How old was
He pled guilty.
What? Wait, when did all this happen?
There was like a Zoom court thing. You're going to have to look it up. Yeah.
Drake Bell.
Yeah.
Josh and Drake.
Drake and Josh.
Drake and Josh, whatever the fuck. My mind's blown. I can't even get that movie, fucking TV show right. No way. Come on, Hollywood.
You know what? It slightly makes sense to me because I don't know if you know about Dan Schneider, but he's very suspicious. He's fucking creepy.
I heard, yeah. Like he's like nasty.
He's into some things.
Really?
Yeah.
He's into kid stuff?
I think he's a predator too.
He's into kid stuff? He was like the director, writer of
a few shows.
Like the Amanda Show?
And Drake and Josh was one of them. Yeah, the Amanda Show.
Right.
I think I shouldn't even say it because I don't have proof, but I was gonna start going on that. I just feel like she got messed up for certain reasons.
Dan Schneider. Is he a good looking man at least?
God, no. Like he's very ugly. Oh God, I'm probably gonna get a message or two.
That's him?
Yeah, exactly. That's the response. That's the appropriate response someone would have when looking at Dan Schneider.
That's him. No, he played in some of the skits.
Yes, which I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
when I was younger, and then as I got older, I'm like, oh, that's even weirder. Yeah, and the hot tub and stuff.
Oh, this is July 2001. So this is pretty recent. Why didn't I hear anything about this? Dan Schneider addresses allegations of misconduct during Nickelodeon reign. Dang. So while they were at the height of his production. Whoa.
Well, I think it was either 2016 or 2018. It might have been 2018. He got fired from Nickelodeon, but then they hired him again, I think.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You're like, our ratings are getting down. I need you to come back to Nickelodeon and touch them kids again.
Definitely. They cared, more about the ratings and the money than they did about children's safety. It's disgusting.
I liked his part in Good Burger as the manager.
Oh my God, he was. I didn't even realize that.
Was he?
Yeah.
He was, wasn't he?
I think he was, Damn, yeah, he really did have a lot of different roles.
TV shows. iCarly, Sam and Cat, Zoe 101, Victorious. I don't remember watching that. Henry Danger, no. Drake and Josh.
Was big.
Game Shakers, The Amanda Show,
That's
however.
Where Ariana Grande came from Victorious.
She did? Wait, she's a Nickelodeon person?
Yes.
What?
Oh my God.
No, because I stopped watching Nickelodeon after.
See, I'm gay, so that's why I know.
I got into marijuana, so I was just like,
I didn't.
Nickelodeon is nice, but marijuana seems cooler. But now as an adult, I'm like, the Amanda Show is cool, but on weed now.
Yeah, I only got into anxiety and crippling depression.
How do you, like, you surprised me the last time that we were talking that you don't drink.
Nope.
You don't drink. I want to feel like that. Feel like that.
Hell.
No, come on.
To not be on a substance, it can, because you're like, wow, I don't have anything to cope with the pain or the anxiety, or so I'm like trying to rely on like music or talking to people or therapy now, which is it's been an effective way.
Do you drink caffeine?
No, not really anymore.
No coffee?
Nope.
What's your diet like?
it's crazy now because I was having stomach issues and having to, like, I have a gastro doctor now and everything. So I'm trying to think. The only liquids I drink for the most part usually are water, lactated milk, and orange juice.
I drank a gallon of water today and I feel fucking fantastic. I do. Before hopping on this thing, I was just like, dude, am I going to drink a beer while I'm on the show? But then I was just like, nah, I'm good.
I'll cheat a little and get some, and once in a while I'll get some sort of fancy drink from Starbucks, like a refresher or something. Those are really good. But which I'll do it with a refresher with water, but whatever fruit stuff they put in there,
yeah,
I'm just like, screw it.
Yeah, you told me you didn't drink or smoke weed or do any edibles.
I've never smoked weed. I actually tried an edible not that long ago.
Really?
For the first time. It was sativa and I had a horrible reaction.
Really?
Yes. I have not tried indica yet, but yes, sativa I probably can't take, or it's just because my body was so not used to it. I ended up in such a rage after taking it, like uncontrollable rage. Like I remember like my mom was with me and I just was like so mad. She didn't do anything to piss me off. I like wanted to hit her. Like that's how angry I was. Like I didn't know why. I like wanted to like hit walls. Like anything. I was like, it was like Hulk anger out of nowhere. And then I felt so awful for feeling that way that then I had a panic attack.
You should be in a laboratory and have all these doctors hook all these tubes up to you to see why that would happen, because I don't imagine anybody on weed being that aggressive.
I know. The only other time I've seen someone be like have anger when it came to smoking weed was one of my exes a while back. We didn't date long because it was weird. Like, yeah, normally people get giggly or maybe a little paranoid, but yeah, usually
that's the fun part.
Wasn't like a common thing, but with one of my exes it was, and he was all pissed off at me over something. And long story short, I met up with him, he hit me, and that's why it ended.
Maybe his body, well, maybe his,
yeah, he was a lanky son of a bitch.
Maybe his brain wasn't processing the chemicals correctly. Like, yeah, maybe it went straight to anger and fear instead of experiencing a different type of, I don't know.
Maybe he only had one testicle, if that helps.
Oh, maybe there's enzymes in a testicle that helps you fabricate better experiences on weed.
Can balance it out more when you have two. Yeah,
like weed only works if you have two balls.
Yeah.
Cannabis in its various forms has been known since time immemorial, the use of which has been rising steadily in India. Why is this? Why did you pull up a link from India? Anyways, bad trips have been documented after cannabis use, manifestations ranging from vague anxiety and fear to profoundly disturbing states of terror and psychosis. Dude, maybe I felt psychosis. Like I was like, this can't be real. This can't be real. That's so weird. Like I get super paranoid sometimes, but I've never gotten angry.
I can't even picture. I can never picture you angry.
I try to avoid being angry. Like I could get mad. I get pretty pissed off sometimes.
Okay.
It's funny. I just say off the wall shit, but with like a lot more fucks in there. Actually, a lot of the writing that I like to do comes from like rants and stuff that I do. So
okay.
It's just an extra outlet that I can do. And try to, like what what's a cool thing that I can say next,
I feel like during my angry fits, I could write a really good rap.
Yeah. Like, what are they about? What would you rap about, Frank? If you're a rapper.
I did not have the easiest childhood. I could probably give Eminem a little bit of a run for his money. Maybe not in style or diction, but like in tough childhoods, I could probably I could challenge him.
I bet there's a market for that, right? That musicians look for just writers.
Oh, definitely. I think, yeah. Or some ghostwriters, yeah.
What's a ghostwriter?
I feel like just anyone that's writing, but they're not really putting their name on the forefront type of thing. Because I interviewed
that's a fetish. I can see somebody totally being a fetish ghostwriter.
Maybe there's got to be some in Hollywood,
just like
those ones that write songs for all different artists. There's like those select few people that probably have written like half the number ones. They probably have the fetish.
I imagine my fetish ghostwriter sitting on his couch in his living room with nothing but just white tidy whitey underwears, no shirt. He's really skinny, and he has like one of those ball gags on.
Okay.
And a mask. And he's just writing.
Mask.
With candles. There's some candles. Maybe he's having a cup of wine as he's writing the story.
Is it a specific type of mask?
It's like one of those dominatrix ones.
Okay. Gotcha. I picture him with really long hair. I don't know if you did.
No, this guy had short hair.
Okay. Mine has like long, luscious locks.
Ooh, okay. Yes. Is he horny? Yes, be.
Always.
He's a fetish writer.
Of course, yeah. Come on, Gill. But even if he wasn't a fetish writer, he's always horny.
And he had one ball.
He did have two, but it could be mistaken for one because one was just so minuscule, but the other one held all of his talent.
And he also every time he hey, that's a really good premise. This master writer that uses all his energy from his testicles. Like something happened to him as a kid with his junk, and that gave him the super communicative ability to write masterpieces. But then he finds out that his magic is depleting because he jerks off too much. So now the climactic element of this movie would be that he has to make the ultimate decision of, do I want to service myself, or do I want to write for the savior of humanity?
Wow, I feel like I've been faced with that same exact question, and I've always picked the first choice. I really need to pick the second one sometime.
Yeah, definitely. I can't do that before going on a run.
No?
No. I feel like all that pent up energy is used like after I do something remarkable.
It has to be remarkable.
Like that cherry on top. Like if I've had a conversation with, okay, this is not going anywhere good. No, I'm going to take that out. Can we cut that out? I'm going to cut that out. I'm okay. I can add, if I had a conversation with this person, I went home and jerked off. That's exactly what I'm saying. In that, and we got to cut that out.
Okay.
We got to cut that out. Moving on. Writing stuff and jerking off before. No, not even talking to anybody. It's communication, dude.
Masturbator to masterpiecer.
It's all about communication, especially when you're writing.
Communication's important.
When you're writing, I heard that one of the best things to do when you're writing is to become like a conversationalist.
Definitely, yeah.
I've always felt that like fascinating. Just talking to people and knowing how to talk to people and making it engaging and entertaining.
Well, another skill that I started picking up that's really important too, maybe you don't have to do it as a writer, but it makes it more fun when writing scenes, is going out alone. So for example, like I'd go out to eat alone and really studying everything that's going on in the restaurant, like other people, the noises, just studying every little thing, the scenery of it all. Like I've definitely taken some notes. It can just make scenes feel way more realistic than if you're just trying to solely come up from your imagination.
Yeah. And it's also being detailed and, you know, conveying that detail in communication. Like how do you show somebody like what you're feeling? Like how do you make them feel what you're experiencing at that moment? And you have to be very detailed about certain things.
With that type of stuff, I just try to put my heart right on the page. That's how I try to make people feel what I'm feeling.
So when I get an idea or something, like I just write. Like I don't even try to obviously I get like the words right, and I just want to try to get the main focus into like that idea. Like just write. I have this concept where I picked it up from several books, as you're writing I guess like your whatever you want to be. I mean, the main focus that I like to write is like comedy prose, and then also a majority of it's like comedy prose, just like a random story, but like a random funny story. Like I write it through. It could be like the worst thing ever, but I usually leave it in my book. I don't come back for it till like another week to see if I still feel it. But I kind of like, I don't know. It depends. So anyways, what I was going with that is there's two concepts, right? So you have your clown brain and you have your editor brain. When you're in your clown phase, you're just writing anything. It may be good. It may be shit. It may, piss somebody off. It may make somebody hard, whatever the case may be. But I go back with my editor brain and actually do that. Because sometimes when I'm writing and I'm too critical of myself, it bums me out. Like it unmotivates me, because I'm just like, dude, that fucking sucks. Don't use it. Like if I'm too critical at the start of it, it's that much difficult to try to reach the goal. Do you feel like that? Like how do you overcome that as you're writing something?
Sorry, how do I overcome what?
How do you overcome like when you, I don't know, maybe you even feel it. I'm just talking from my own insecurities about writing. Maybe it could be that. Maybe you're just a genius. You just write stuff and it's immaculate. I don't know. Like I feel maybe it's a confidence thing. It's a confidence thing. You have to be confident to share stuff with people. I find that most attractive. And I want to be like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing a lot of that this week, actually, because it's National Eating Disorder Awareness Week, and I dealt with an eating disorder for years, and I'm getting messages saying like, wow, you're being so open about this, and just you're able to help people and stuff, and that's awesome. I just feel like the internet is just, sometimes it's full of so much fake, stupid, pointless shit that sometimes we just need some real reality stuff. Like, it's just, life's not always positive, but it's also like there's depth to life as well. So I guess I just try to put a little bit out there. That's why I'll talk about my story. And I think everyone has a unique story of their own. If we all were sharing that more, I think we'd be able to relate even more to one another. But what you were talking about before, though, there's two different terms that I've heard instead of the ones you used. I've heard of pantsers and planners, I think. And then sometimes people will say they're like a planster, which is in the middle. But like, you sounded like a pantser, where that person, they don't make a plan for their story, they just write, and they kind of write as they go, where a planner will like outline their story and really think about.
Gotcha.
Because with the whole editor brain, I'm told a lot that you shouldn't be that way as a writer, which is something I struggle with. It's probably why I don't finish stuff, because it's hard to turn off as you're writing something. Right. Let's say you write a chapter to something, you want to immediately go back and start fixing shit. But I'm told all the time, no, like, your manuscript needs to be a literal pile of shit. Like, you have to just get it out of your brain, and then when you're completely done, then go back and edit, or like have someone else edit it so it's another pair of eyes type of thing.
I didn't even think about the length of that. I usually write I write like a few paragraphs and then go and start finessing the bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. Too. I'm not looking past just that. Huh. That's interesting. That seems like a lot of work.
It is, but at the same time, it's, it's kind of smart to just, well, not smart, but it's important to remember that you can, since you're making up whatever it is, that you can go back anytime and add something or take something out. Like, we have the power to do that as a creative, as a writer. It's just, it's going to take work. That's the thing. Sometimes people don't want to put as much work into something, but at the same time, the shit needs to make sense too. So if you really want to do something, or you really want to get something out there that's creative, whether it's writing or if it's like artwork or whatever, it's like, you got to put the time and energy and effort into it. If you love it enough, you're going to do it.
And some people see that. They see your passion. They see your energy that you put into your project, and that becomes attractive. It may be the art piece can be fucking beautiful, or maybe your short story is, great and it takes people on a journey. But when they see your heart, soul, energy, and hours put into that project, it becomes that more valuable and that more appealing, because the artist that created that piece became one with the art.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't agree with that at all.
Really?
No, I do. Just pulling your chain.
I mean, each his own. Don't pull it too hard. We'll go back to one of those other points we were talking about earlier.
What points? I was hard this whole podcast.
Well, now that you pulled my chain, I'm even more hard, and I'm gonna sleep well tonight.
It's 9:00 in your area. No, actually, it's not 9. It's 10:30. I got you out here late.
Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna be in the show or not, but just so people know, and that I do not do interviews this late for just anyone.
Yeah, right.
I don't even, my bedtime is in between 9 and 10 normally. So if I'm staying up, I like you as a person.
This is a Casting Couch podcast live from Hampton Beach, and I got Frank DeLuzio. Now we can get the podcast starting.
It wasn't recording this whole time.
We weren't recording anything.
All practice.
All that was practice. Now it's take 2.
You need a good hour of practice first. And then the episode can be 2 to 3 hours.
Main podcast. How do you do? Okay, so you don't drink, you don't do drugs. You go to sleep before 10 p.m.
Try to, usually, yeah.
That's, I don't know. Maybe that just seems so alien to me, but I love my sleep. The other day, I got like about 13 hours of sleep and I felt like,
wow.
I can get into this. I can get into sleeping for 13 hours.
Wow, I could never. I told someone the other day, I was like, oh man, I kind of overslept. And they're like, well, what time is oversleeping to? I was like 7 a.m. Like I'm usually up at like 5:36. And then 7, I would say, is like really pushing it. 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. is definitely oversleeping to me. If I'm not up, I never wake up 10 a.m. or later. If that's the case, I'm dead. Like just call the ambulance. Like there's no way. Like I don't, no matter how late I stay up, my body just will wake up at those specific earlier times, no matter what.
What's the first thing that you go to when you wake up? Like, is it your phone?
Yep.
Is it the alarm?
Sometimes my phone. Usually I'll go right to the bathroom. Like I kind of have a little system where I like to go to the bathroom. I'll stretch, weigh myself.
You weigh yourself in the morning? Really?
Yeah, especially lately. I got to make sure my weight doesn't I was starting to actually lose a little bit too much weight. So I was actually which is strange. Usually people want to lose weight, but I'm like, oh, actually I'm starting to feel too thin.
Really?
So usually every morning lately I've been tracking. I'd love to go back to like a once a week thing, but I gotta stay on it because sometimes it could, usually a healthy range is like losing 1 to 2 pounds a week or something if you're trying to lose weight.
Really?
And there would be certain days where I would go down 2-3 pounds. I'm like, oh shit, like what do you
do? Do you work out a lot, or you have a high metabolism? You shit?
I think my metabolism definitely sped up because during COVID, when that was going, I gained a good amount of weight. I was going back to like the 190s. I'm 153 now. So I just, I try to go for a walk every day. And usually that's in between 3 to 5 miles. I'll do some
That's
weight
a really good walk.
sometimes. Yeah, I try.
Wow.
I usually can fit 3 miles at least in an hour. Sometimes if I'm really fast, I could get to 5.
Yeah. I've recently been doing walks in the morning, like 3 times.
It's nice. Yeah.
I've eased into going back to the gym, as you can tell from my stories. That before the pandemic, dude, I was going every day and I felt fucking amazing. But I stopped going these last couple of months, and I was like, you know what? I'm fuck it. Like I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. Keep pushing. Yeah. And it all started. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna ease into it. I'm not gonna disturb my body too much. I don't want to, put it shock, hurt myself or whatever. Because I was walking. Because I was running before. So I started walking in the morning from like 6 a.m. I get up at like 5:45. And then, get my shit together. It's fucking cold in the morning. And it feels great. It's just like you're barely waking up and it's just like, just walk. Just keep pushing it. You're cold. Shut up. Just keep walking. You're going to be good. And usually there's a coffee that's at the end of the trip where I walk, which is an hour and a half. And then I walk back home, grab a coffee, walk back home, listen to a podcast, and then drink coffee on my way. So that's 3 hours of walk there. And then after that, I sit down at my desk and start writing stuff.
Nice.
It's beautiful.
See, you live in California too, so that must be nice for like a morning walk, because here sometimes there was one morning it was like -2 degrees. I'm like, I'm not going out. Yeah, like I gotta wait until the afternoon.
Yeah. But I don't know. Don't get me wrong. The sun is beautiful. It feels great. But sometimes I just want it to be cold. Like today it was raining.
Really?
It was raining today and it was windy. And the weather says we're going to have like the coldest, winters in in California just in general. Yeah, dude, it was like snowing in Pasadena, which is fucking never heard of in California, where it would snow, and some parts of LA got hail.
What temperature was it?
I'm gonna say something like ridiculous, and you're just like, what? That's nothing. So how? What is it? What should I search?
The temperature wasn't horrible here. It was cold, but
forecast for Los Angeles. Okay, so it's 50 degrees, 58 degrees right now. It got 42 degrees.
Okay, I mean here it was in between 30s and 40s.
But that's all day?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all day. No, dude, 42 degrees is just the coldest that we get.
Oh, man.
And it's not even like that for a couple of hours. And then it goes to 58 and then 62, 60s. I found that the 70s, I like the 70s, like 70-degree weather, because I can still wear shorts, but be allowed to wear a sweatshirt. Like that's what happened today.
The 50s to 70s is my favorite temperature.
Really?
Because anything below and anything above, it starts getting annoying. But yeah, that's like my absolute favorite. And 50s to 70s here mostly happens like in the spring and like, I don't know, summer and fall. You got to catch a good time. If we actually had 60-degree weather. I think we're supposed to have some 60-degree weather tomorrow for a couple hours, which is just strange, but global warming.
So when you see a man without a t-shirt, is that something that's just like, whoa, why doesn't he have a t-shirt? Is that just something wild that you think about? Or like flip-flops?
Wait, hold on. I feel like we're missing context here. If I see a man that's shirtless. Why would I see a shirtless man that's not in my bed?
Because it's so cold, like outside. Like if you see a man with no shirt on outside, is that something common? Or you think, damn, this bitch is crazy?
Be extremely concerning right now. That would be concerning. Yeah, that's not happening here.
Right. Whether in California, if you have a man without a shirt on, it's just a normal, guy. It's just an average Joe. Hanging out outside.
If it's warmer weather, yeah, that I guess people wouldn't really bat an eye. But right now, seeing a shirtless man outside, we'd be like, what's wrong with him?
Isn't that
it's too chilly?
Isn't that why a lot of homeless people kind of gravitate toward hotter weather, like areas? I've heard that.
So. Actually, unfortunately, there was a lot of homeless I saw in one town today. They're just
today, really?
There, yeah, and which sucks because it was raining and they were all bundled up. Some even had masks, and some were wearing more layers than I was today.
Really? And it was raining today?
Yeah, for like all afternoon.
Damn. I'm pretty sure your body has evolved to take that kind of weather. And that altitude, maybe.
Yeah.
And that wind.
Probably.
And that wind. Have you ever been to California?
No, I really need to. I've been to Louisiana, and that weather would be nice sometimes because it would be. I remember one time, I think it was like high 50s, low 60s in Louisiana, and here and back home it was like 10 degrees. I'm like, oh, this is great. I can wear shorts. And yeah, people are probably wondering why I was wearing shorts in the 50s now that I think about it, but that's normal here.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
it's not cold in the 50s.
Yeah, dude, 50s is like really cold. Like that's when I walk in the morning and I think I'm going to die.
Wow.
Yeah,
so weird.
My junk just shrivels up, and I can't even I can't see, like it's frozen.
I'm still hard in 50-degree weather.
That's your superpower living on the East Coast. You can still be dumped with super cold water, but the ability to have an erection through weather. That should be an Olympic sport. That should be something that's in the Guinness Book of World Records. It has to be. Right?
Maybe.
If you're going to be in the Guinness Book of World Records, it would have to be something to do with your penis.
That's what I was just going to say. It'd have to do with my penis.
Yeah, no.
There's got to be some record I could break.
Yeah. Absolutely. If you were to break a record, what would it be? Like, what would it absolutely be?
Well, my mind just went here. It wouldn't have went here normally, but for some reason, I think I would break the record for. I can't believe I'm going to say this on the podcast. It would be probably hardest penis smack across someone's face.
Like, do you knock their teeth out?
I feel like it could.
You break their jaw?
Closed. Oh, yeah. I could call it the jawbreaker.
The jawbreaker. Yes.
And it's just like a big smack.
Ow, that would hurt.
Yeah. I've probably hurt a couple people.
Ow. How do you train for that? Do you...
I'm assuming you start with pillows and you just,
Why would it be pillows?
Well, I mean, what are you going to use? I guess you could use a blow-up doll or something and
it will start with
it
will start with the Tony Robbins CD tape.
that plays in the background.
That plays in the background as you're getting
a picture of his werewolf form is on my wall.
You're getting ready for it, and that's how you get ready for it. That's the only way. That's your fetish. Your fetish is listening to motivational speakers in the morning.
Oh my God. Oh, a good TED Talk would get me going. Yes.
Right? Yes. TED Talk. I haven't watched TED Talk in a long time. I used to listen to their podcasts all the time, but I kind of stepped away. What kind of podcasts are you listening to right now?
Actually, so a couple. So one of them is these two women. I've been needing like funnier stuff lately. I've never been like a huge true crime podcast.
OMG.
I know a lot of people are.
OMG.
But I've needed like
I'm saying OMG because we're like on the same energy level right now because
we're on the same penis smack.
I've needed some comedy in my life when I listen to podcasts. I've absolutely needed it. But what have you been listening to right now?
So two main ones. One of them is these two women. They actually have two podcasts, but the one I've been listening to more is they will review old reality trash TV shows like Flavor of Love or I Love New York or Rock of Love, like just those guilty pleasure shows. And it's hilarious. They'll do the commentary. They'll go through the episode. They also review horror movies, like bad horror movies. And those can be pretty funny too. But another one I just discovered that show is called Queens of Reality TV, and their horror one is Queens of NC-17. But the other one I just discovered that's brand new, it's called Normal Gossip. And it's this one woman, I forgot her name. She gets like these various guests to kind of co-host with her. For example, she got someone from the new iCarly reboot. I forgot her name though, but she got her as like a special host guest or whatever.
There's a reboot of iCarly?
Yes, on Paramount Plus. I haven't seen any of it. It's them as adults.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I've heard it's pretty good. But anyway, so people will submit gossip. Pretty much the host will talk about gossip from like a friend of a friend. So it's gossip that has nothing to do with them, and it's kind of like anonymous, like they don't know the people at all, but they're gossiping about this random gossip that's like a little bit more lighthearted. It's not like necessarily vicious stuff, and that's been pretty funny because some of the stories have been kind of ridiculous, and yeah, that's given me a good chuckle in the morning, and I definitely get invested because I guess I'm kind of guilty of, I don't know, I'm a little guilty of liking gossip a little bit, and especially if it's something more innocent where you don't even know anyone involved. It's
well, who isn't?
Feel less guilty.
Who isn't attracted to gossip?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a form of our human evolution, just to like gossip.
The cavemen probably gossip.
You think so?
Or their wives. I think they both probably did. They had to. Like, they were probably pissing each other off so much.
Yeah. I seen the way you're looking at him. I get it. I totally get it. Especially they didn't have clothes. So they had to gossip about,
Did you see that shoulder strap on him? Ugh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's where the main American language came. Well, any type of language came from, was from gossip. Because we're just social creatures.
I just picture like, he couldn't sleep with me, but I didn't see him pushing the wheel around today.
Exactly.
And that some sort of,
and that's how they got writing started with stone tablets, because they're like, that's such a great idea. We need to save it. We need to save it. So I don't see that. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
I don't know. That's what happens.
I totally forgot.
We just like, we're like, how did we get here?
I totally forgot. How did we get? Okay, so we're talking about writing and stuff. How did we get to cavemen? Cavemen.
There was a lot of steps, and none of them seemed to make sense.
Cavemen
here.
Well, what did we talk about the last time? I remember listening to that podcast for like once a day for a week. You ever do that?
Really? I listened to it a couple times, I think. Yeah. And it seemed a lot more normal than this. Like, it seemed a little more cohesive. I love this talk as well, but I feel like this time we really, I want to say, we'll see that other episode. I remember you kind of going into a couple tangents on something. And it probably was most likely some sort of book or
maybe
something going on in the media.
Could be. But I've been stepping away from media. I haven't read any articles lately. I haven't watched much news lately. I've been dedicating a lot of my time into listening to different podcasts. Like, not independent podcast, but more well-known podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, just like in general, like Like, don't get me wrong, like independent podcasts are great because you get to connect with different hosts in the indie podcast community. So, I mean, I've been doing that. My thing is I love just taking breaks too. Like I took like a month break, and
I noticed that.
I just took in a lot of stuff. And then one day I thought, I was just like, you know what? Like podcasting is like a relief system.
Yeah.
Where I can just like, you know, release it all over Frank.
Mouth wide open. Our shows were really good for just releasing.
Yeah.
Just whatever.
You have to. And I think that's like a common thing, it's the theme of some of the conversations on here. It's to have an open space and just have fun with it.
Yeah, I agree.
You better agree. Or I will unsubscribe.
What are you going to do if I don't?
I will unsubscribe from your OnlyFans.
Frank, spank me, daddy.
Frank, you can't say that on the podcast.
Just edit it out.
That's for the after show on your casting couch from Hampton Beach.
On the OnlyFans, yeah. That they gotta pay for that content.
All the way from Hampton Beach, New Jersey, Massachusetts. Frank. Frank, this was an awesome time. I love spending time with you. It's so funny because you're like one of that, like, if we're not booking anything, I'm still texting you. We still have like some communication going.
Yeah, I like that. You're one of the very few people from the podcasting world that probably even has my phone number.
Mm-hmm. Like, should I be scared to have it?
A little bit.
Okay.
But no, some I don't know. There's just, I mean, no matter whether it's the podcasting world or any community, there's always like certain people I meet that I'm like, oh no, I could never give them my phone number because they wouldn't, like we know when to leave each other alone sometimes. Like I'll try not to. I know certain times I'll text you and I'll be like, where's that link or something.
I love it. I love that. Sometimes
I'll try not to put, okay, I didn't want to annoy you.
Dude, no, hold on. Sometimes I get that. I'm just like, I'm working. It's random for me. It's random because usually like
I'll forget it's only like 6 a.m. for you, and I'm like, where's the?
Usually it's just random because when I have my person, like when I'm in real life, when I'm not doing this, I'm not connected. I don't have tubes connected to my brain right now.
Yeah.
When I don't have things over my ears that I can hear every little thing happening in the mic and on the other side. When I'm not podcasting like this, I am in another dimension. I like to think of it as like I'm not thinking about the podcast unless if I have like an idea, to do something or to say something or how to say it. So when you text me about the podcast, I'm just like, the fuck? Like what is
podcast?
The fuck does Frank want? And I look at it and I'm just like, oh, the link. Oh yeah, the link. Okay, let me try to do that. But it's fun. Like it gives me a reality check. It's like, oh shit, this is real. This is the real deal. Somebody has my phone number and they're asking me about the podcast. It's real. This is real life. Right?
Yeah, no, I would get that feeling too. Or it would be, especially if it was guests that I hadn't even met before. I'm like, oh, I'm literally just meeting this chef for the first time or this author or whoever. from like another country. I'm like, oh, that's so fucking weird. Like I'm going to be meeting this complete stranger and talk to them for an hour on camera, and it's crazy.
One more thing and I'll let you go.
Yeah.
How do you prepare yourself to talk to people that you don't know?
Okay, I'm like, how do I prepare myself before what?
I was gonna go a different route and ask you how you prepare yourself for fellatio, but it seemed like the other was best fitted to end the show.
I was gonna say, I can tell you that other way.
Fellatio, ladies. I love that word, fellatio. Fellatio. How do you get ready to talk to people that you don't know? That's the quick question. That's the challenge that I want to challenge everybody, is to connect with somebody that you would never really be able to think to connect with, or talk to them a certain way that empowers you as a person.
I guess one thing I definitely do, I definitely pep talk myself a lot, just to, I don't know if that's part of like the social anxiety or anything, but I have to like tell myself that it's going to be okay. Like it's just talking to someone, because I think the anxiety will start bubbling up inside of me and I start psyching myself out, or that I'm getting nervous, like I'm going to talk to like a murderer or something from death row, but I'm like, no, it's just a person. You know, it's just, I guess the best way,
it's not a murderer,
is to remember that they are also human and they're just like you in some sort of sense.
Yes.
So I think it makes it starts putting you on some sort of equal playing field again, where you're like, oh, okay, it's just a conversation. I like having prep questions sort of ready, because that will give some sort of outline. Even if we don't follow it to a T, at least it's like some backup there if it's prepping for an interview or something. I guess, like, you know, a lot of people are on social media now, so what also helps me is kind of maybe, you know, Googling them a little bit, like looking up their stuff on Instagram or Google, or just to kind of get a taste of what they're about. If they have videos posted up, that's like a great way I can get comfortable with someone I never met before, because now you know how they speak, you know what they sound like, you know what they look like on camera. So it makes you familiar without even actually doing the act. So I think that kind of helps as well. I would say those are probably a few of my things, because I've had certain guests where they had no social media presence. I didn't know if it was, I don't know if it's even this. I can think of one guy specifically. I'm like, I don't know if this is a picture from like 30, 40 years ago, if this is actually the guy, or, you know, I'm like, I have no idea. Like this could be anyone, and I didn't know what they sounded like. And it ended up, it was the guy in the pictures, and he had a good talking voice, I guess, or podcast voice. But I guess online stalking a little bit helps, and ignoring your anxiety,
being a creep a little bit for just a few days. You know, really invest some time in the other person.
I mean, I probably had enough practice in romantic relationships when I would do my little like FBI work. So it wasn't too bad to look up people on the internet. It's so easy to do now. So
some people will not carry a conversation with you because they don't like you. I wonder in the future, I'm probably going to pick up a guest that's probably thinks I'm like really cool to talk to. But when they get on the podcast, like 5 minutes in, they're like, this guy is a complete jackass. I don't know how I'm going to survive for the next hour and 15 minutes with this guy. I wonder how that would be in a show.
You're going to have to get a guest. You're going to have to grab someone that's called you a derogatory name and be like, hey, come on the show.
Yes.
Just see how that works, how that dynamic works.
And that has happened, Frank. You remember that? That has happened.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I should invite him on the show.
You should be like, why don't you like me?
Yeah, I could just come back, dude. That's all I ask. Just come back. You can follow me. That's fine. I won't repost your racist stuff that you post. I'm sorry. Okay. Can we talk about this?
Yeah.
Can we communicate on a level to where we both give each other our true communication of what we think of each other? And let's hash out the differences and start seeing our whatever the opposite of a difference is in a person.
See what you guys have in common, or
yeah, which is probably zero, but it'll still be fun to talk to him.
Well, I mean, you guys both breathe air, so
we like air. We like eating, some more than others.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe we have the same size shoes. Maybe we like the same baseball team. Because he's from California. I totally forgot about that. He's from California.
This guy ends up being your best friend.
I'm thinking that it would give me anxiety to see him outside, like pumping gas, or like we're crossing each other's paths in like a porno magazine store or something.
He doesn't deserve to be outside. He can stay in the cage.
Or if I see him at like a dispensary, where we both go to the same weed place, that would be kind of,
and
that'd be cool.
Already high.
There we go. That's how we would fix this. We would hang out and just get high together and just hash it out. Just hash it out.
Literally, yeah, that's a good.
Oh, yeah, literally. Whoa, wordplay. Little wordplay. Frank, this was amazing. I can't thank you enough. I can't believe I kept you up this late.
I can't believe it either.
This is a late night show.
I gotta get ready I gotta prepare for the big times when I'm on those ones on TV and stuff, when I'm on what is it, Jimmy Fallon or whatever.
You know what I love about the lifestyle is the traveling that I will be able to do. Oh my God, I see these comics go on podcasts and they talk about traveling. And a lot of their material comes from traveling and talking to different people.
I've seen some. Yeah, it's awesome.
It's always like hotels, traveling, airplanes, airports. And I'm just like, man, that is so cool. Like Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura. Bert Kreischer lives in LA, I believe, and he weekly he goes from California to Texas just to do a podcast, has dinner, stays the night, and then flies the next day. That's so fucking cool. I don't know. I think traveling is just like just not even traveling for like a month or a week, but just going for like a day.
Yeah, I definitely want to travel more. I'm going to end up in California.
Oh, I'm going to end up in Hampton Beach.
I'll meet you there, yeah.
What city are you from? You don't have to say like the main city, but like, okay, so like I'm from a city outside of Los Angeles. So like you're like,
I'm an hour away from Boston.
Gotcha. Okay.
Massachusetts, yeah.
Dude, okay, so I know a couple of people.
Completely opposite.
I've known a couple of people, that I met podcasting. Even one of the guys who was like, dude, if you come out to Boston, like I have a couch that you can crash on. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like you barely know me, but fuck yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I was going to come out there to watch Dave Chappelle show.
Oh.
And I was planning it and this and that, but it just didn't line up right. Just with like timing and stuff and family shit. But I want to do it. I want to go out there. I want to see it. I want to see New York. I want to see Boston. I want to see Chicago. I want to see New Jersey. Massachusetts. I want to see Salem.
You're gonna have to check out Hampton Beach.
Hampton Beach. Your casting couch.
Yeah, we can lay together on the couch.
Frank, you can't say that in the podcast.
I know. I gotta watch it. You're in a relationship. I gotta be careful.
Mr. Frankie, this was nice talking to you.
I'm blocked after this.
No, it was nice talking to you, man. Why don't you take some time and tell us where we can find all your cool stuff?
Oh, I forgot to write those down. There's a couple different.
Say them all
now. Yeah. So Instagram, we have Let Me Be Frank Anthony. It's my personal Instagram. Then I have the Bookstagram, which is franks.fiction. Yeah, I think I have that right. Those are the two main Instagrams. My podcast Instagram, that's a little under construction because it's not Let Me Be Frank anymore. It's like the Love Diaries pod. So it's going under some construction. I didn't even get to talk about that. I just realized maybe in the future. But let's see. My TikTok, I want to say, is also Let Me Be Frank Anthony. And yeah, those are probably the main. I haven't really been using Twitter too much.
I'm super excited about the Love Diaries. I'm super excited. The Love Diaries.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, if you have any stories, I think my friend and future co-host, it's gonna be like going through, like people can submit love stories.
Oh, okay, I love that.
Maybe talk about them and give advice. We might have some people come on.
Ooh, that's very engaging
too. Yeah. No, so we definitely wanted it something like that. So yeah, we got to still hash out a couple little things, but yeah.
Is it going to be
schedules too?
Schedules? Is it going to be like in person or is it going to be online, like an online show?
Mostly, we really want to try to mostly be in person together.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh. But if we can't meet up, then yeah, we'll do it on, the program that you use online.
Mm-hmm.
Like we'll use it, but hopefully we can just be in person.
That is so cool.
Do it that way.
I am super stoked about doing live stuff. Like
Karina's awesome too. She's really funny, and I've always told her like she should, if she had a YouTube, she would be big, definitely.
There's like some people that you just want to like shake. Dude, you're good. Start a podcast. Start a channel on YouTube.
She's very charismatic.
You're amazing.
Like, I think a lot of people would like her. She just doesn't have really. I just don't think she's had the time really to be on social media a lot. Mm-hmm. She's always been a really busy, hardworking person. So I'm like, no, like you got to get on camera a little bit because I know people are going to be like, she's fucking adorable and she's personable and charismatic. And she kind of, in a weird way, she a little bit looks like a female version of you.
What?
I would think.
Really?
Like if you were a girl, it could maybe, I could maybe see a little bit. If you're like this pretty girl.
Not this ugly man. No,
I'd sleep with you.
People often, Frank, you can't say that on the podcast. People will often say that I would be a good-looking woman with long hair.
I feel like, how tall are you?
I'm not that tall.
I know she's not either. That's why I feel like I see it.
Shoddy. Okay, yeah, I can definitely see it. Okay.
I'll have to send a picture.
But make it consent, like she has to consent to the picture.
Yeah, true. I know, yeah. No, I'm going to send one of her nudes.
Or,
no, I don't have any nudes.
Or just be like, dude, you know who you remind me of? My friend Gill. And she's like, ew, like what? Who's that?
She'll probably laugh. I'm going to have to tell her and show her.
Who is that?
If I have your consent.
Yeah, that's fine. You can send her the link to the podcast. I mean, we're giving her a shout out right now.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Karina.
Gotcha. Karina what? Because
Karina.
don't you wasn't like Karina a producer on Let Me Be Frank? Was she one of your producers?
No. Krisha
Mm-hmm.
was from who hosts Gay Monologues.
Okay.
She was a producer.
Oh, okay. Krisha's awesome.
So maybe that. Yeah. Oh my. I was just on her show. I don't know when the episode's gonna air.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it was awesome. We had realized, her and I realized we hadn't talked in like 6 to 8 months.
Uh-huh.
Or like seen each other. It was crazy how fast time goes.
I loved her interaction with you, like on Let Me Be Frank. I loved her stories, and
yeah,
I started following her, and I was just like, whoa, like she has a really cool, she has like a really like I said, she has a really cool stories, and like when I listen to her, I get so invested in what she's talking about.
I like her content a lot. She asks me about some dating stories from my past, so that's going to be on the new episode, and just like sexual orientation and all that.
All the sexual. Dude, that's now that I think about it, because when she was on my show, she was pointing out like all these sexual undertones about the Bible. Yeah. Well, we were both talking about it. Like, of course, I would have to bring sexuality and religion into the conversation. And she's like, "Oh my God, you're picking out all these sexual undertones in the Bible." And I was like, "It's a gift. I can think of anything and turn it into sex, or something completely repulsive. Just a gift." So, I don't know. That what?
That's a good gift.
It is. I don't know. I think so. But we gotta let you go, Frank.
Yeah. I gotta go to bed.
This was super amazing.
Thank you so much for having me on.
I want to get you back on again. We have to make this a quarterly thing. Right, every quarter, Frank.
Quarterly goal.
Frank comes on the podcast and we talk about completely nothing. It's a show about nothing.
When your ratings are really high and you're like, oh, I need to humble myself a little bit, get Frank on the show.
No. Frank, I love talking to you, and I always tell you that. I love talking to you. Like, it doesn't even have to be on the podcast. It could be like some stupid comments or remarks on Instagram, and every day you're just there taking it.
I'm just taking it, huh? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, Frank, we gotta go. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody, for checking us out. You can go to Mindbuzz Media on YouTube and watch this podcast. And we're also on Spotify. Frank, amen. We're done. Thanks a lot for being here. And we gotta do this again.
Dana.
I gotta go.
We gotta go.
Bye.
Bye.
The Mindbuzz.